did not grow up Christian. I think it's fair to say that she grew up in a Hindu family, but not a particularly religious family in either direction. Now, most Sundays, Usha will come with me to church. As I've told her, and I've said publicly, and I'll say now in front of 10,000 of my closest friends, do I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved in by church? Yeah, I honestly do wish that, because I believe in the Christian gospel, and I hope eventually my wife comes to see it the same way.
Whoa, things just got crazy. The political world and the gossip scene have officially crashed into each other, and right in the middle of that explosion stands none other than Vice President JD Vance. Reports, wild, unverified, and spreading like wildfire, are flooding social media, hinting that something major is shifting in JD's personal life, something that could wreck his spotless public image. Everything blew up after that now infamous hug with Erika Kirk, and ever since then, it's been chaos. Whispers are flying that JD Vance might actually be planning to replace his wife, Usha, and people are losing it online. But it doesn't stop there. A DC insider just dropped a bomb, saying things between JD and Usha are not great right now. Add that viral hug to JD's awkward moment where he basically dismissed his wife's faith on live TV, and suddenly everyone's wondering if this situation's darker than anyone imagined. So now, the question that's got everyone glued to their screens: are we witnessing the soft launch of JD Vance's divorce? Or is this just another political figure getting crushed under the weight of internet gossip gone wild? Either way, it's messy and it's happening fast. But here's the thing, what we're seeing doesn't look like random rumors anymore. This feels like a full-blown political and emotional breakdown playing out in real time. And who's right at the center of it? JD Vance himself. If you've somehow missed all this,
crazy, Usha has to smile and laugh and celebrate.
It started when JD and Erika Kirk were photographed in what looked like a very warm embrace at a Turning Point USA event in Mississippi. Erika gave this emotional intro speech before JD took the stage, saying, "No one could ever replace my husband, Charlie Kirk." But then she added something that left jaws on the floor. She confessed. She said she does see some similarities in JD Vance, and that one line alone flipped the internet upside down. Then came the hug, that moment that blew the lid off everything. It wasn't just a friendly tap or a polite handshake, it was a lingering, intimate clutch, with Erika's hand brushing through JD's hair, a move so personal, so off limits for a public figure, that it instantly crossed from gossip into straight-up scandal territory. People online lost their minds. Body language experts, reaction channels, and even random TikTok detectives started analyzing every frame like it was a crime scene. Their verdict? That hug wasn't innocent, it was charged. Romantic tension all over it. And from there, the drama snowballed. But just when everyone thought it couldn't get worse, JD Vance himself poured gasoline on the fire. During a public discussion, he openly said he hopes his wife, Usha Vance, who's Hindu, will one day embrace Christianity. That one statement hit like a thunderclap across the nation. Instantly, it was trending everywhere, sparking fierce debates about faith.
And he's going to do this by using Paulina privilege. He is going to either push or somehow convince Usha Vance to file for divorce. And he'll use that to take it to the church to get an annulment, because neither of them were baptized at the time of their marriage. And he will say that he tried to convert her and that it was just too hostile at home. Then his only marriage in the eyes of God will be towards Erika Kirk.
Respect and loyalty. Critics were ruthless. They accused JD of arrogance, saying his words weren't just tone deaf, they were deeply personal, especially coming right after that emotional moment with Erika. How could he talk about wanting his wife to change religions when he just shared a touch that had everyone whispering about another woman? JD, who converted to Catholicism back in 2019, tried to explain. He said Usha was raised Hindu, but wasn't super religious, and that when they met in college, both were agnostic. He added that they're raising their 3 kids Catholic, and that Usha sometimes joins them for mass, claiming he just hopes she feels what he feels in church. But that explanation, it didn't land. It sounded more like a man trying to justify what the internet had already labeled a major betrayal. People weren't buying it. They said it wasn't faith. It was disrespect. That instead of uplifting his wife, he publicly diminished her and her entire family's beliefs. And with that, the rumors exploded. Twitter threads, Reddit posts, memes, all painting the same picture, a marriage in freefall. To many, JD's hug with Erika and his comments about Usha weren't 2 separate moments. They were one giant signal that his heart was already somewhere else. Just when everyone thought the situation couldn't possibly spiral any further, boom! A bombshell dropped out of nowhere. New York Times columnist Shannon Watt jumped into the fire, and her words sent shockwaves through every corner of the internet.
Now everybody's talking about how JD Vance and Erika Kirk are getting a little too comfortable and that Usha's relationship might be in danger. But I'm mostly seeing people like, oh, Usha, leave your man, like that sort of stuff. I'm worried. And listen, I know she's not a good person. I obviously know that. But I'm worried, like woman to woman, that they're gonna try to pull a Princess Diana on her. Like she's gonna like die this tragic, mysterious death. But we're all gonna know. We're all gonna know that it was just for him to get to Erika. Like JD Vance has already said that Usha doesn't have the same like religious ideals as he does, and that man's a Christian nationalist.
Taking to X, she posted a cryptic and downright chilling message that read, "Vance announces divorce, marries Charlie Kirk's widow by the end of 2026. Within hours, that single post exploded. Over 10 million views and thousands of jaw-dropping comments flooded in. Some users were screaming that she was exposing what everyone else was too scared to say, pointing straight to the undeniable chemistry between JD Vance and Erika Kirk during that infamous hug. Others clapped back hard, accusing the media of turning politics into a reality show and calling it reckless rumor chasing. But it didn't matter. The damage was done. The narrative was already out there, unstoppable, and multiplying with every repost and reaction video. In the middle of the chaos, JD Vance finally decided to speak out, hoping to calm the flames. In a carefully crafted statement, he called Usha the most amazing blessing in my life and insisted that their marriage was solid, saying they were fully committed to their family. He tried to draw a clean line between his faith comments and the storm that followed, explaining that his words were simply about personal belief, not relationship drama. And when it came to the hug that broke the internet, JD brushed it off completely, calling it a warm public moment between friends at a student event. He blamed the media for twisting something innocent into a scandal for clicks and chaos. But just as his team thought the storm might finally settle, bam!
You know who else is a Christian nationalist? Erika Kirk. And what racist America really wants to see right now is two people of full Aryan blood together. They need their white prince and princess to come together and rule the kingdom as one. Because once Trump is gone, because we know he doesn't have much time left, once Trump is gone and JD Vance is gonna be the one to be in power, you really think they want eyeliner guy who's been memed the out, who couches, who has an Indian wife?
Another shocker hit the timeline. Jen Psaki, the former White House press secretary, suddenly jumped into the conversation with her own cryptic and unverified claims about the vice president's marriage. And just like that, the whole thing took another wild turn, because when someone like her starts dropping hints, you know there's more to the story. Things went from messy to downright chaotic when Jen Psaki dropped a grenade during an episode of the I've Had It podcast. With zero hesitation, she straight up suggested that JD Vance and his wife, Usha, might be in serious marital trouble, even hinting that a divorce could be just around the corner. She didn't show any receipts, but her tone said everything. Psaki laughed and added, "I always wonder what's going on in the mind of his wife. Like, are you okay? Please blink 4 times. Come over here, which will save you." It was bold, borderline mocking, and instantly went viral. Everyone was talking. Even people who don't usually care about politics jumped in on the gossip, and if that wasn't spicy enough, the couple's Halloween appearance just poured gasoline on the fire. JD Vance decided to go full meme, literally dressing up as a meme of himself. The costume was based on an online joke people originally used to roast him, and apparently, JD thought it'd be funny to join in. The whole
You think they're gonna want that? No, they're not gonna allow that. They're not gonna want that because we're talking about white supremacy here. Him being with Erika would save his image because she is like the princess right now. They are going to want 2 Christian nationalists. So Usha babe, you might need to run. You might need to flee the country. And I know that I sound like a conspiracy theorist, and I don't like to be a conspiracy theorist, but if I'm right about this, one person at least owes me $5.
"If you can't beat them, join them" energy was there. But nobody was buying it. Comment sections were ruthless. He even ended up on the worst dressed celebrities of Halloween 2025 list. Not exactly the kind of publicity a vice president wants. But the real story wasn't JD, it was Usha. While everyone else showed up in elaborate costumes, she arrived looking like she didn't even bother. Just her normal outfit, no smile, no sparkle. The internet immediately noticed. Within minutes, memes were flying around saying things like, "She's dressed as a second lady who's over it." And honestly, that one stung because it looked true. Whispers started growing louder. People saying Usha looked exhausted, detached, and done. Insiders started hinting that the former powerhouse attorney, who once had a thriving career, has been struggling since stepping out of the courtroom and into the harsh political spotlight. They said she's been tolerating life as a politician's wife, but not enjoying it one bit. Then came that rumored dinner incident, the one where she supposedly snapped at JD in public, right in front of donors. Witnesses said her tone was sharp, and the room went silent. It was giving tense marriage energy, and fans ran wild with theories that things behind closed doors were even worse. And that's when the internet got dark. Some online sleuths began speculating that JD might go to extreme lengths to move on. Wild posts popped up saying she's gonna go missing and show up weeks later gone, and then JD and Erika will bond over it. People even joked they're gonna Charlie Kirk her next, a disturbing play on Erika's own tragedy that left many uneasy. While all this chaos was spinning out of control,
Message is for Usha Vance. Usha, call JD back home. Call him up. Be like, hey, Vivek needs to be tucked in. Get your ass back in the house. Erika Kirk's hands don't need to be all up in his hair. Get your tiny little man back.
Erika Kirk had stayed unusually quiet until now. Finally, she decided to break her silence, and she did it on national television. In a recent Fox News interview at Turning Point USA headquarters, Erika faced the rumors head-on, and what she said next had everyone on edge. The fallout after Erika Kirk's Fox News interview hit harder than anyone expected. Within minutes of the broadcast ending, political strategists, donors, and media insiders were all scrambling behind the scenes, trying to figure out just how deep this scandal had already cut. The segment was supposed to calm the waters, but instead, it made the waves crash even harder. Sources close to the production say that before Erika even left the studio, her phone was buzzing nonstop with calls from JD Vance's communications team, who were apparently blindsided by her decision to speak publicly. According to one insider, JD's senior advisor wasn't thrilled about how Erika smiled through questions that directly mentioned his name. The team reportedly met that same night for an emergency optics review, trying to assess how the interview might affect the vice president's already fragile image. Meanwhile, Usha Vance was allegedly fuming. Multiple sources claim she didn't even watch the interview live, but saw the clips trending within the hour. One source close to the Vance household said, "She's done being humiliated online." That same source hinted that Usha has quietly been speaking with a private legal advisor, though nothing official has been filed. Whether that means divorce prep or just personal protection, no one knows. But what's clear is that she's not staying silent anymore. By the next morning, things were spiraling. Every major outlet had screenshots of Erika's perfectly styled smirk and carefully chosen words. She didn't deny the rumors. She simply danced around them, emphasizing her deep respect for Vice President Vance's leadership. That phrasing alone sent shockwaves through DC. Political watchers immediately noted how her tone carried admiration that felt personal, not professional. One commentator even said, "It's like she was describing a man she believes in." Not just politically. Inside Turning Point USA, panic was brewing. Staffers allegedly got a memo advising them to avoid commenting publicly on private matters related to leadership families. That's corporate speak for don't talk about JD and Erika. Some employees claimed they saw senior executives quietly unfollowing both Vance and Erika on social media, a silent attempt to distance the brand before it gets dragged deeper into this mess. And yet, the internet was relentless. Threads on X and Reddit started speculating that Erika's interview had been coordinated, not random. Some users pointed out how her timing was suspiciously aligned with the release of a new Turning Point campaign called Faith Forward, which spotlights women of conviction in leadership. People couldn't help but connect dots, wondering if the entire PR rollout was designed to shift public sympathy in Erika's favor. Meanwhile, JD's office was forced to issue a second statement, this time through his press secretary, calling the rumors offensive distractions meant to undermine the vice president's service. But that only made people dig deeper. Every word was dissected. Every public appearance analyzed frame by frame. Even old clips of JD and Usha from campaign trails resurfaced, with fans zooming in on her facial expressions, pointing out moments where she looked detached or uncomfortable. Behind closed doors, donors were reportedly worried. Some conservative backers who had heavily invested in JD's future political rise began holding private calls to discuss contingency plans. No one wants to fund a scandal, one insider revealed. They want stability, not soap opera energy. Others whispered that Erika's growing visibility could signal a shift in alliances, that maybe she's becoming the new favorite among certain MAGA media figures. As all this chaos unfolded, Usha was spotted alone at a Georgetown cafe. No security detail, no ring, just her phone and a black notebook. Photos hit tabloids instantly, captioned, "Usha Vance seen solo, writing her next move." Some fans praised her composure, calling her the definition of grace under pressure. Others thought the optics screamed, "Woman ready to walk." And then there's Erika's silence since the interview. No Instagram posts, no stories, no event appearances, just radio silence. But that hasn't stopped speculation that she's being advised to lay low while JD's team works on realigning narratives. Some believe she's under pressure to avoid further on-camera appearances until the frenzy dies down. Others think she's enjoying the attention from behind the curtain, letting the headlines do her talking. But what truly set off alarm bells was a leaked email allegedly sent between two Turning Point executives referencing a containment strategy for the optics of the Vance-Kirk narrative. That phrase alone sent conspiracy theories soaring. Was this entire storyline being managed from the top? Were they trying to craft a redemption arc before 2026? Nobody knows. But it's clear that something major is moving in the background. Now, even late-night shows have joined the frenzy, mocking JD's Halloween costume and replaying Erika's interview with dramatic music. What started as internet gossip has become a full-scale political crisis, with every side trying to rewrite the story to save face. The problem? No one knows who's telling the truth anymore. Because behind every polished statement and every forced smile lies a quiet tension that's getting harder to hide. Whether this ends in reconciliation, resignation, or revelation, one thing's for sure. This storm isn't over yet, and everyone watching can feel it. Something big is coming next. And what Erika Kirk said next had everyone talking. No exaggeration. Under the hot Fox News studio lights, she sat straight, hands folded, and spoke like someone tired of being painted as the villain. Her voice trembled at first, then hardened. She said, "There were cameras all over my husband when he was murdered. Cameras all over my friends and family while we mourned. Cameras all over me, analyzing my every move, my every smile, my every tear." The air went cold. You could feel the weight of her words. Even her biggest critics paused for a second. Then, without missing a beat, Erika leaned in and doubled down. "We deserve to have cameras in there," she insisted, her tone steady but cutting. "Why not be transparent? There's nothing to hide." "I know there's not, because I've seen what the case is built on. Let everyone see what true evil is." The confidence in her delivery was electric, almost defiant. It was as if she was telling the world she knew more than anyone realized. Then she said something that gave everyone chills. "This is something that could impact a generation and generations to come." Instantly, the internet exploded with theories about what she was hinting at. But it didn't stop there, because just 2 days after Charlie Kirk's death, Erika was photographed in one of the most emotionally charged images of the year. A visibly devastated Erika was seen holding Usha Vance's hand as they walked beside the casket, which JD and Usha personally escorted off Air Force 2 in Arizona. At that time, the photo represented unity, two families standing together in grief. But fast forward to now, and the internet has twisted it into something else entirely. That heartbreaking scene has been reinterpreted frame by frame on every platform. Reddit, X, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, you name it. Some call it symbolic. Others say it was the moment everything changed. And when the camera caught JD Vance and Erika sharing that brief, emotional hug, it was like pouring jet fuel on an open flame. In today's world of viral clips, perception is reality. And sometimes it completely overshadows the truth. What might have been a private, compassionate gesture has now blown up into a national obsession. People online can't stop speculating. Was it a sign of comfort or connection, grief or temptation? Everyone's got their own theory, and every body language expert online suddenly has something to say. Some are calling it the soft launch of something deeper, while others argue it's nothing more than social media insanity. A harmless moment turned scandal by people desperate for clicks. Still, there's no denying the timing couldn't have been worse. Rumors about JD and Usha's strained marriage were already swirling like wildfire. Then comes this hug, emotional, slow, and caught perfectly on camera. Within hours, hashtags like #VanceAffair and #Erika and JD started trending. By the next morning, clips of the hug had been edited with dramatic music, side-by-side comparisons, and even fan-made timelines connecting their supposed chemistry from past events. And here's the wild part. Even after all this, JD and Usha have stayed publicly united. They're still showing up to family events together, still appearing side by side in official photos. But their smiles, people say they look different now. Less warmth, more control. That's what public life does. It forces people to perform stability, even when their private world might be crumbling. Meanwhile, Erika's team has gone completely quiet since her interview. No Instagram posts, no stories, no turning point appearances. Some claim she's being told to lay low while the dust settles. Others think this silence is intentional, her version of letting the narrative burn itself out while keeping her name in the headlines. Because like it or not, every time her name trends, her influence grows. But let's be real, that hug isn't going away anytime soon. It's one of those moments that gets burned into the internet forever. It doesn't matter what the truth is anymore. People have already decided what they want to believe, and once that happens, good luck changing the story. In the age of viral clips and 20-second headlines, a single gesture can reshape your entire identity overnight. It doesn't take facts, it takes a feeling, and this particular feeling, the one sparked by that hug, has already rewritten how millions see JD Vance and Erika Kirk forever. So now, I gotta ask, what do you think? Was that hug a genuine act of compassion or the start of something much bigger hiding in plain sight? Drop your thoughts below, because I'm dying to know how you see it. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more breakdowns like this. We've got way more coming. This story's far from over, and trust me, the next twist is gonna be wild. See you on the next one.